future leaders are dying.
The Everyone campaign started in 2009. It's been running for 2 years, and the campaign has one very simple goal, really, which is to catalyse policy and political change around the world to get us closer towards the goal of MDG 4. And in most countries we've seen quite significant progress, and globally, 12 million children were dying before their 5th birthday back in 1990. We're now in a world where that number is down to 7.5 million.
To actually see this working and see people appreciating what these guys are doing in here is just, it's quite a humbling experience.
Save the Children gave Bishara the high protein food she so desperately needed, and have a look at this, it's a huge relief, an amazing transformation. She looks so much better.
The Everyone campaign in 2012 will have two main overarching objectives. The first is to drive implementation of the commitments that we've already secured on health workers and on vaccines in 2011. And we've seen significant progress in both of those areas. Some of the most motivating, some of the most powerful stories about progress against MDG4 are stories of individual health workers going out there day in, day out, often in very difficult contexts, and actually doing things that have a decisive influence on whether or not children and mothers live or die.
La sévérité de la malnutrition, elle est grave. Elle est grave. Ça fait mal au cœur. Et vous savez très bien que le Niger est un pays pauvre, c'est un pays du tiers-monde. On n'a pas suffisamment les moyens. Mais il faudra que nous montrons que nous avons cette bonne volonté. Mais néanmoins, nous aurons toujours besoin de cette aide extérieure. Parce que sans l'appui extérieur, nous ne pourrons jamais faire face à cette autosuffisance alimentaire. Nous remettons notre sort entre vos mains pour aider ces foyers démunis et sauver suffisamment d'enfants pour que la majorité, au moins 99% de ces enfants, puissent fêter leur 5e anniversaire avec un état nutritionnel et sanitaire satisfaisant.
The second objective is to really scale up our activity on hunger and malnutrition, which we know is a critical factor in whether or not children survive. Tackling malnutrition is more urgent now than at any other moment because of the global economic situation. We know that during economic downturns, when food prices become more expensive, that has a knock-on effect on the ability of poor households to get a decent diet for their children. So the risk is that we'll see an increase in malnutrition because of the current global economic climate.
In fact, just buying beans, it seems that the price has doubled in the last month. And for a poor family, that must mean half as much food.
But we also know that if you tackle malnutrition, it's actually one of the best buys in terms of tackling child mortality and also ensuring that children not only survive but thrive. Child mortality doesn't strike randomly. We know that the children at greatest risk of an early death are the children who are living in the poorest countries, they're living in rural areas, they're living in informal urban settlements. They're often children from particular ethnic groups, particular religious groups. In some cases, they're more likely to be girls than boys. The great strength of the campaign lies in its breadth. We're seeing the public getting on board, we're seeing funders coming in behind the campaign ambition and goals, and I think we're seeing increasingly opportunities to tap into our programming knowledge and expertise and actually translate that into effective advocacy work. I think think 2012 will be a busy, challenging year for the organisation. We've set out some very ambitious goals. I think if we can make progress on hunger and malnutrition and at the same time drive implementation of the promises we've already secured on vaccines and health workers, leading to fewer children dying before their 5th birthday.